Good morning, I'm Lil'Chap, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Arizona Trail logistics and my food plans for the trail. I have made some notes here that I'll be glancing down at just to try to keep myself on track because I have lots to cover and I'm going to try to keep this brief. And then stick around because I do have a brand new backpacking meal idea that I'm excited to share with you all. I've not tried it on trail yet, but I've tried it at home and I'm looking forward to eating it on trail. So first, let's talk about logistics. I'm going to be flying into Tucson, and I have a pretty long layover because I have a connecting flight in Vegas. I have almost 6 hours in Vegas, so I'm not really sure. I may actually leave the airport because I've never been to Vegas, and I'd love to see the Strip. I've read, though, the traffic can be pretty bad in Vegas, and I may not be able to make my flight. So I don't know. If you've been to Vegas or you know the timing around that, let me know. Do you think it's a good idea to try to see the Strip in my 6-hour layover or just stay in the airport? So I'm scheduled to arrive in Tucson late in the afternoon, and then I'll spend the night in Tucson at a hotel near the airport. Now, I decided to use the Finding Thru North shuttle, and I've already secured my spot with them. Now, since doing that, I have done some more research, and it seems like a lot of hikers end up doing private shuttles or trail angels to take them to the trailhead. Now, if I had it to do over again, if I've not already paid for my ride, I may have tried that because I don't really like the timing of the shuttle. It doesn't leave Tucson until 10 a.m., and I think it's going to be like a 2 or 2.5 hour ride. So that means I'm going to be starting much later than I would like to start on day one. I'm supposed to get dropped off at Montezuma Pass. I'm guessing around 12:30 because of what I've read on their website. Now, this only gives me about 6 hours before sunset because it looks like sunset in that part of Arizona is about 6:30 on my start date. The AZT terminus is at the Mexican border, which is south of Montezuma Pass. So once I get dropped off, I'm going to have to walk approximately 2 miles back south to the border and then turn around and walk back north. So by the time I get down to the border, I'm sure I'll do some pictures and video down there to get started. It'll probably be, I'm guessing, at least 1:30 before I actually start walking north on the Arizona Trail. Now, the Arizona Trail is very welcoming. It looks like there is a 3,000-foot climb to start off the trail. So my hope for day one is to try to make it about 10 trail miles. So we'll see how that goes. You know how it goes with trail plans, the best ones. You just got to be flexible because they don't always work out the way you want them to. Now, that pretty much covers the initial logistics of how I'm getting the trail. So now I want to talk about how that plays into my food plans for the first few days. So the first stretch of trail is 52 miles, or right about 52 miles from the terminus to the town of Patagonia. Now, Patagonia is supposed to be one of the premier trail towns on the AZT, from what I've read in the Facebook groups and seen on YouTube. And there's also a place there that's very popular with hikers and bikers to stay called Terra Sol. And I really want to stay at Terra Sol. So that puts the first stretch for my first resupply in 52 miles. Now, towards the end of the PCT, I would have said 52 miles, I could do that in 2 days, no problem. But that was 6 months since I've been on trail. I don't have the same trail legs. I still think I can do it probably pretty easily in 3 days or with 3 days of food, because even if I only did 10 miles on the first day, I would only be using the afternoon of, like, one afternoon's worth of food. And then if I had 2 full days and then I got into town on the 4th morning, that would be a total of 3 full days of food. Now, given that it's a new trail, I'm going to be by myself, and I really don't want to put myself in a spot, especially starting out, where I got to push to get somewhere to risk running out of food. So I have decided I'm going to go ahead and start with 4 full days of food. Now, it's probably a lighter 4 days, like maybe one less bar snack per day than I normally would. But I do have my full food that I'm going to carry to start all laid out, and I'll show you that shortly. Now, let's see if there's anything else I'm missing. You know, I typically don't like to send resupply boxes. So I'm very much a proponent of supply as you go. However, in order to start out with any kind of variety, you have to buy like a box of 5 or 6 of each bar, and I don't want to start with all of one thing. So I was going to have a good bit of leftover stuff. So I decided I was going to do a couple boxes, and here is where I've decided to send one of them. So I'm going to send one to Patagonia, just because I think it would be nice going into that first town, not having to find food, electrolytes, coffee, toilet paper, and all the essentials. It would be nice to be able to go in, just kind of get back in the routine of things, have plenty of time to edit and upload my videos. Usually I edit on trail, but I'll probably have a little bit of editing to do. And then I don't want to be taking too much time off trail there, but I want to experience the town. So I thought, I'll just send a box there. Plus, it'll only be like 3 or 4 days after I start. So I'll have a really good idea when I'm going to be there. And probably my taste buds aren't going to change too much in those first couple days. So I'm going to send one box with 4 days of food to Patagonia. And then I'm going to have another box prepared. I don't know where it's going to go, but at some point I'm going to have my shoes replaced. I already have my replacement shoes and replacement insoles in a box ready to go. So I decided that I'm going to go ahead and put 4 days of food in with those shoes. That way, whenever my shoes start to wear out and I realize, hey, it's going to be time for new shoes in a week or two, I can figure out where to have my parents send that box. So when I get that, I'll also have 4 days of food, resupply of toilet paper, wet wipes, all the stuff I would need to resupply. So again, not sure where that's going to go yet. We'll figure that one out on trail. But I'm going to go ahead and get this box sent to Patagonia probably in the next couple, for sure this week it needs to get out. So now let's talk a little bit about food. And I had to go dumpster diving for you all. Okay, so I was at Fresh Time. I don't know where that chain is. And I've Googled and I've looked on Amazon. I've not been able to find this anywhere else. But I saw this right here. It's instant. It's like instant meat. And it comes in it looks like a ramen cup with this wrapper around it. And when I decided I wanted to make this video, I'd already thrown this away. So I thought, well, I'm going to go digging in the trash. So the cool thing about this, I found it on sale and I bought one pack. And it was like $1.50 off. So I think they're normally almost $5 a pack. But at $3.50, it's not a bad deal, especially because I made one at home. It had tasted really good. The texture of the meat once rehydrated was really good. And it's got 35 grams of protein, which is a ton of protein for something so light. When you put the water in there, it makes it very like a lot of gravy or juice with it. So what I'm gonna do is try to put some mashed, maybe a half a pack of put a little extra water in with the meat. Once it gets all hydrated, then I'm gonna put like a half a pack or how much ever it takes of mashed potatoes in with it. And I think it's gonna be a really good on-trail meal. So I will show you what that looks like. I'm going to go ahead and show you my full loadout of food, and it's all spread out in the perfect pictures that you always see on YouTube. So let's take a look at that. Let's go ahead and start all the way on the left with the builder's bar in the bottom left corner of your screen. So working that way for breakfast all the way up to the top is kind of what I have loaded out here. So I have like breakfast, morning snack, and then I don't really do full lunches a lot. So once I'm on trail, I'll probably start doing some like meat and tortillas and peanut butter, things like that. But I didn't do it so far. I never really carried tuna before, but you'll see those smart bowls like pasta and beans and barley with beans. Those are some things I found on the PCT that I started eating at lunch, and it was really good. And so I got a couple of those. I also have like the pack of meat sticks and nuts. I'll probably have that kind of mixed up, maybe half of that at each of the meals. And like I said, I'm probably not going to eat a lunch on day one. So those nuts will end up, well, I put them in that place. They'll kind of just be a snack to eat when I want extra food on the other days. Now looking at the top, I like to have a candy bar at the end of the day. It's a good morale booster, kind of like having a candy bar for dessert. I don't really eat candy bars in normal life, so it's a nice benefit of hiking. So the top bag is dehydrated refried beans and rice with a couple packs of hot sauce. And that's one of my favorite trail meals when I can find it. I was able to find it at Walmart on the PCTs. I had to order it. I can't really find it in any store here. So I went ahead and made up a couple of those. So I have that for day one. And this bag right here is the dehydrated meat. I probably only needed about half of those potatoes, but I went ahead and kept it in there. I may want to add it to some ramen, as you'll see in a second. Day three, it's another pack of rice and beans. And then this is something I'm really excited about as well. Not only is it ramen, but I found a big bag of dehydrated vegetables to add to ramen. It's like a dehydrated soup mix full of vegetables. So I have one bag to start with, and then I'm also putting a bag of each of those in both of the resupply boxes. All the way on the right is just kind of whenever I want them. I have one bag of Sour Patch Kids, my favorite trail snack, I guess. It used to be Sour Patch Kids, but now I really like the Nerds gummy clusters. I have one extra bar, And then I have plenty of electrolytes. Now there's more electrolytes in that baggie and drink mixes. There's also coffee, one hot chocolate, and I think one pack of tea. So that's what I'll be starting with. This is the box that will go to Patagonia, and I will show you in just a second the box that I have made up with my shoes to go to wherever it is they're needed. Okay, I've already done this whole thing once and realized I did not hit record. So this is the box with my shoes. It's got 4 days of food and also a new thing of hand sanitizer, some deodorant, a new supply of Ziploc bags and toilet paper and everything like that. Okay, everybody, that's it. That's what I got for logistics and all of my food. It's getting really close to time. I got one shakedown hike to do, and then it's about time to get on trail. So thank you all for following along, and I hope you continue to follow my journey on the Arizona Trail.